Hey, Street Talk and Other Stuff, Mike Magnotti. Thanks for tuning in this Monday morning. And, you know, I just want to start. I got a good show coming up, but it was a tough weekend. We lost Robert Duvall, and I love that guy. You know, I mean, good grief. Remember, Boo Radley, I think it was back from 1962, and then 6 years later, I believe, he played the taxi cab driver in the Steve McQueen movie Bullet, which I saw probably 100 times because I worked at a movie theater when I saw that. But recently, for his passing, we celebrated him by watching Open Range with Kevin Costner. And the last 2 days, we binged on Godfather 1 and 2. So, Robert Duvall, we love you, buddy. But hey, I've got a really good show today. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you tuning in. I want you to stick around because it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a lot of fun, interesting stuff. So Street Talk and Other Stuff, you stick around. We will be right back.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
Our community is full of people doing incredible work. Join us for the Community Impact Awards, an inspiring evening honoring the people, organizations, and businesses whose leadership and service make our community stronger. It's on Thursday, February 26th at the Pybus Local-Tel Event Center in Wenatchee. There'll be light appetizers and beverages. The award ceremony itself begins at 5:30. Come connect, celebrate, and support the positive impact happening all around us. Reserve your tickets today.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
Okay, we're back. Street Talk and Other Stuff. I'm sure most of you will recognize my guest today, Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison. Mike,
good to see you, sir.
Good to be here. I've been looking forward to this. You know.
All right, I'm on the hot seat.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been sheriff? It's been almost 3 years now,
This
right?
is a little over 3 years, so
over 3
completing
years.
my 4th year now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And how do you liking it?
Good. Gray hair's coming in fine. You know, catching up with it.
You know, okay, I'll tell you, when I was posting on Facebook today about you being on, I was going to use a different picture, and I said, no, wait a minute. He's a lot younger there. Maybe
I earned those. Those came in. So
yeah.
I get that. Full credit.
I know it. That's when I was in detectives was when my hair started going gray.
Well, I just figure it's a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage.
So how you doing?
Not too bad. You know, just enjoying the year so far. 2026 is off to a good start. Thankfully, 25 with all of the interesting challenges is behind us, and we made it through mostly unscathed. And just looking for continued challenges.
Okay, so tell us just a little bit about yourself. What's going on in your life?
Well, you know, I just finished watching my kids compete this weekend. Always fun, getting to watch them grow, excel. They both qualified for a big national meet coming up here next month.
What sport are they in?
They're track and field.
Okay,
cool. Really proud of them. They're kind of following after my footsteps. I didn't have to push them. They just kind of naturally gravitated towards it. Okay. And just been pretty excited to see it. And then on the professional side, you know, we've been looking at January was 20 years in law enforcement for me.
Oh, really? Okay.
It snuck up.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I was talking to my parents. They're both retired law enforcement as well, and they said, you know, 20 years it's a hard mark to hit. And even talking with the FBI, they had said most officers aren't even lasting more than 5 years now in this profession.
Really?
So 20 years is unusual.
Okay.
So I'll take it as being unusual.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I got 20
Yeah.
myself.
We're
I
an
got
unusual
that.
group then.
But really, most people are leaving. Really?
Yeah, what we're seeing now stat-wise from the FBI is they said you'll anticipate that your employees are not going to last longer than 5 years. 10 might be the far end of the exception. You're certainly not going to see officers staying with one agency for 20 to 30 years like we saw historically under the old retirement system, the current retirement system. And that's unfortunate because you lose a lot of institutional knowledge and experience, especially with our region and our communities, but that is the current reality.
You know, that's interesting because I always wanted to stay with Wenatchee, okay?
Yeah.
I never had any desire really to go anywhere else. So,
well, Chief Crown, now Chief Reinfeld, have done an excellent job. They've got great people over there. I was pretty fortunate. I started my career up in the Wild West of Okanagan County, up there at Omak PD. Thanks, Chief Schreckengas, for giving me that start. And I would have loved to have done my career up there. Great people. I was very close with much of the community. A lot of the judges knew me by first name too. But the opportunity opened up. I got to come down here to Chelan County, and that's just been a blessing. I couldn't have asked for anything better. This has been a great agency, good community.
I love it here. You know,
Same.
I mean, I'm a transplant. I moved out when I was 19, married a local girl, you know.
Good way to go.
Lucky me.
Yeah.
Very prominent family. I like to say that I married her for her money, and it was a good thing. I loved her because I found out she didn't have any.
Well, then you know the relationship was for the right reason. Yeah.
But you mentioned something in our communication beforehand about how you're working about balancing your professional and your personal life, which I think is very important. Okay.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the challenge, you know, I've been in law enforcement for 20 years, as express, and I did not do a good job at it at first. I love the job. I wanted to be there 24/7. I worked a lot of overtime.
I know the feeling. Yeah.
I'm passionate. I'm still passionate about it, but I recognized that I had to do what was right, not only for my kids, for myself, and I think anyone that's been kind of following some of the things that I've done in the last year, tried to get out and balance the two. But I also recognize too, I was selected by the people to be sheriff here, and they expect me to be here in office, and I've done a good job balancing that so far.
Okay, good.
But doing better, just because I recognize that you can't be solely committed to your job. My mom, thankfully, she gave me a great example coming into it. The job will never love you back.
Good, yeah.
And by the time you're done, you will be replaced, your name will be forgotten, and that hurts. You feel like for how much you put into your career.
I know, that was an interesting one for me, you know. Yeah. But now, how old were you when you got into police work?
25, fresh out of college. 1 year out of college, I ran for Brooks for 1 year. The shoe company recognized that wasn't going to pay any bills. So law enforcement was my passion, what I was aiming for, and then I was fortunate enough to get picked up and started the career.
See, I kind of think I was lucky because I was 34. When I got hired by Wenatchee PD. So I had a family, had kids, had a lot of, very involved in community theater, outside interests. So, but I know how consuming police work is. Yeah. You know, a matter of fact, my wife looked at me one day and I was scared that she was going to say, you know, you either quit or. Because it's just, it is consuming.
It is.
You know?
And I don't know if you remember the book Promotional Survival for Law Enforcement.
Yes.
And it talks about all the things that you were before you got into the career. And I was certainly a victim of that. You know, I was heavy into track. Still got to do some coaching throughout my law enforcement career. You know, hiking, adventuring, touring. I just kind of drifted away from that. And I just focused more on working, providing for my family, and making sure their needs were met. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking at myself like, what happened in the last, 10, 15 years? It blew by. So I'm just grateful I'm still here in the profession, but learning more and trying to encourage our new deputies and officers, find that balance, prioritize your family, do what's right. Learn from my mistakes, hopefully. Just like Generation said.
That is very important. But like I was saying, I was heavily involved with the music theater group. I had a lot of outside friends. So it was a little bit easier for me to stay connected because, you get that brotherhood thing.
You do.
Where, some of your only friends are cops, they're the only people you hang around with, the only people who understand you.
Yeah, and you get it. The job does change you no matter what. And we're seeing this on an industry level, but specifically here in the state. The state's now recognizing if you've been in law enforcement more than 10 years, you're presumed to have PTSD. You recognize, and I've talked to my family.
That's my problem, Rosemary. Okay, that's why I've been talking in my sleep.
It does. I mean, we see some horrendous things.
Yeah, we really
and
do. Yeah.
They say that the average citizen will maybe see 4 to 6 critical incidents throughout their life. Officers more like around 900 to 1,000.
Sure.
And that's not normal for people. And you've got to have that balance, getting good sleep, making sure you're eating well, and finding that balance and trying to exercise as much as possible.
Right,
so
right.
I've always been blessed. I've loved working out. And it's just something that I picked up from an early age, going through college, being an athlete there. And I've just tried to work more on good sleep, good eating, and then, of course, finding those activities outside. And thankfully, travel and hiking and being outdoors has been that call that I wanted to see.
Good for you. Good for you. And your wife still like you?
She probably does not think as highly of me as before, but we'll get over it. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, almost out of that chapter.
All right. Talking about high-stress stuff. The Decker investigation last year. You know, I know we're glad it's over. You guys did a great job, and we thank you for that. I mean, and people, I don't, you know, they don't really understand.
No.
But to find solution to that as quickly as you, and it was very quick overall. I was expecting that maybe years would go by before somebody finally found his remains, or.
Same.
But give us a little bit of stuff that maybe the public may not be aware of that you're free to talk about. You know, just.
Yeah. I was blessed with a great investigative unit. Sergeant Lewis and the detectives were on it 24/7. Like, we almost had to encourage them to take some time off and decompress, but they never gave up. They recognized the importance of the case. We had a family with Whitney and her family supportive of us, and despite the frustrations, I wanted him found like in the first week or two.
Oh, of course.
And we struggled. We didn't. And then thankfully we had those relationships in place with our federal partners, the FBI, the U.S. Marshals Service, Homeland Security investigations, even Border Patrol came in to assist, so did National Parks. And had we not already established those relationships beforehand, we would have been a little bit more delayed. But they were with us the first day. Washington State Patrol Chief Batiste, and you recognize. I know a lot of people are like, "Well, you found him just like 0.72 miles away from the campsite." I'm like, I would invite anyone, come on out and hike it.
Was it that far? 7.2 miles away from where?
0.7.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, all right.
So the FBI, U.S. Marshals said historically, if we looked at other cases, because we were looking at the history of what other agencies had done with similar cases, a quarter mile away from the site. So we did our searches, and once we got past that quarter mile, we're like, we're not finding him. This is historically, and what stats are showing, we should find him.
Yeah, but
keep pushing out.
That's rough territory. Okay?
It is.
I mean, that's not just some open fields or an orchard you can walk through poking around.
No.
Yeah.
So our detectives are in pretty good shape. They go out hunting. To go that half mile, it took them almost 2 hours.
Really? Okay.
2 hours to go a half mile. So take that into context. Anyone who's gone out walking, try to find terrain that it takes you that long to hike through that area. Thick brush, and I get it. The criticism comes with the position. I'm all right with that. I talked to Chief Fry from Moscow Police Department, who was overseeing the slaying of the 4 University of Idaho students. And we talked about the similarities and the critiques that he had, as well as they were going through the investigation. And I knew what I was signing up for, but I also knew too, I had a great agency behind me. We had a great investigative unit. Our deputies were dedicated. There was not one deputy that you would have found that was not motivated to find Travis.
I'm sure.
And same with our federal partners. They wanted, same with State Patrol, and same with our local partners too, Douglas County, East Wenatchee, Wenatchee. Everyone, all hands on deck to help us. There was never a moment that I didn't feel like we were going to find him. It just was going to take some time.
Now, what was it that actually said, okay, that you pinpointed where his remains were?
It was just part of our search patterns. We had searched around the initial campsite the night of with State Patrol and our SWAT team. Then we expanded out with the U.S. Forest Service and some of our volunteers. And then we had the FBI come in with their 100 personnel. And then we expanded out too. Marshals came back and they had an area they wanted to search. State Patrol with Dr. Chiquette, we talked a little bit about her, the operational psychologist, and then Captain Scharf, who oversees investigations, Washington State Patrol, had a theory and said, why don't we include this in as well? And Dr. Chiquette gets a lot of credit. She took a different approach that the U.S. Marshal psychologists and the FBI psychologists did not take in consideration. Brought this analysis of Mr. Decker in there and said, we believe this was his thought process. This is where we believe he was headed. Search it, and she was spot on. Elevation, 4,000 feet, and location was per her drawing. So a lot of credit to her. She is an amazing person. I will not be able to sing her praises enough. Certainly, I have seen other agencies now that have cold cases that have watched ours and are reaching out to her now and be like, hey, can you help us out? And I'm glad. If we could say anything was learned from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, It was Dr. Chiquette.
Okay.
And also perseverance and not giving up, because my friend is a sheriff down in Walla Walla County, Sheriff Kreider. He had been a former FBI agent and had worked with the Eric Rudolph search, the Atlanta city bombing during the Olympics. It took them 5 years to find that individual.
Yeah.
And we found ours in 3. It was not the condition I would like to have had him in.
Not 3 years, but 3
months.
3 months, right?
3 months. Yeah. Thank you for the correction on that.
Okay. It's all right.
Yeah, we earned it. That was hard-earned 3 months.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And I get a lot of people, criticize, hey, that was a lot of money you spent. I would spend twice as much as that if I had to in order to find justice.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Bringing, as horrific as it was, bringing closure to that was very important.
Yeah.
And I talked to Rosie and I said, if I was sure you would find him.
Same.
But I was afraid that he was off somewhere that would be years later. Just that overhanging, no closure would have been devastating to. Bad enough for the family as it was, but.
No, and we were getting unique sightings. We had our potential sighting in the enchantments. Kittitas County also had a similar one where the subject took off running from them, and they found him and just found it was someone who didn't like law enforcement. But you're out in the middle of nowhere.
I remember
Who are these
that,
people randomly running from us? At 8,000 feet of elevation, or 5,000, wherever we're at. So that was strange. And then, of course, he threw us a red herring too, saying, "Oh, I'm trying to get up into Canada."
Sure.
And then we had sightings like in England and down in Texas and Montana. So you're doing your due diligence. You're not ignoring it. You're going out and you're looking for them. But it eats up resources, and thankfully we had our friends with us. But overall, very proud of the Chelan County Sheriff's Office as a whole. I recognize the stress it put on them, but also the stress it put on our community. Whitney and her family, and no matter what, we didn't bring the girls back, and that's disappointing. But you at least feel
heartbreaking. Yeah. So, but hey, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks. Oh, appreciate it.
Okay, but we got to
thanks my deputies for making it happen.
Yeah, well, got to take a break, okay? But we're talking with Sheriff Mike Morrison from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. I did want to talk to him about bringing the Decker case to a closure, but we're going to talk about some other stuff a little bit more positive when we come back. But we're going to need to take a break. So street talk and other stuff, you stick around. We will be right back. So.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Okay, we're back. Street talking other stuff. Talking with Sheriff Mike Morrison, Chelan County Sheriff. Nice to have you. But hey, 2025 was a big year in other ways, right?
Yes,
so what else did you have
logistically
going
challenging.
on?
Well, we had some fires with Labor
Yes,
Mountain.
we did.
Yeah, Labor Mountain and Lower Sugarloaf certainly presented some unique challenges. Thankfully, I've got a great emergency management division with Stan Smoke, Rich Magnuson, and Jason Reinfeld.
So Stan Smoke is still doing
He is our hidden gem.
Really?
So,
okay, yeah.
we're
Stan used to be fire chief here, right?
Well, we've been fortunate to have him. He just redid our emergency management plans,
Oh, cool.
and we have that knowledge
Stan's
base in there.
Stan's a great guy.
He is, yeah. I hope that I can keep him for 20 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, Stan, 20 years. Yeah, 20 years, we're going to keep you on, bud. But yeah, overall, we had Lower Sugarloaf, Labor Mountain Fire, and then, of course, we had the floods at the end of the year. And one of the unique challenges, we talked about this offline, so we're currently full staffed. We have 59 positions, all of them are filled. Trying to convince, I know, that's just temporary. We get that maybe held on for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And then, of course, someone retires, goes someplace else, but such is the nature of the profession. Sure. But overall, despite those 59, we had 31 people out at one time or the other last year for either sick leave, light duty, paid family medical leave, FMLA, even PTSD, and we discussed it too. That's something more that's hitting the industry here in the state. We got a lot of early retirements that have come as a result of this. And the fact that our deputies still stepped up despite that and still met that claim, we saw crime rate was down for 25. Our overdose deaths, which really have been ravaging our state, we're one of the top 4 in the nation for overdose deaths.
Is that, I mean, those figures going down, is that due to you guys carrying Narcan with you in part?
Our deputies do have Narcan, but I think it's just the combined effort. The number one, we've been very creative in funding our drug task force. That's been very proactive. We're the lead agency for that. You've also seen recovery navigators and their work, and we've just come up with different resources. Catholic Family Charities also doing it. We have our behavioral health units also working.
We have drug court is still going on, right?
Yeah, and actually we have a former prosecutor from Okanagan County that I knew when I was a young baby cop. That's down here doing amazing work. That's Felicia Chandler, and she is a great asset that Chelan County picked up. Prosecutor Sealby, very fortunate to get her. She had worked at the Attorney General's office for a while as well, and just a bulldog. She was a felony prosecutor when I was up there, and bringing that knowledge and experience down here has been excellent. But you've seen, like our county, but more specifically our agency, overcome some challenges, and our mission statement says it, with the resources entrusted to us. We recognize we only have limited resources, and you do what you can, and so far we've been successful, despite at times, we've been still running 4 to 5 people on at a time, on our worst moments. Despite, I can't hire any more people. I've got 4 laterals waiting to come on board, and I've got over 18 entry levels that want to come work here, but I just don't have a job available for them. So we've been trying to lean into technology as well to assist.
Okay, now you said you're like 4 or 5 deputies at a time on patrol. Is that what you said?
At our worst moments, like when we're, I mean, typically we're running more men and women in uniform at a time. But if you get those hits like, we have someone out for paid family medical leave, FMLA, sick leave, even military duty too. We got, members still serving our country too, and you just, you do what you can. And I thought at first, like, Chelan County is unique for this, but I started talking with some other sheriffs and chiefs. They're like, no, we have 40% of our workforce also out at any given time, and we're trying our best. And you're already seeing, like, Seattle PD's down over 600 officers.
Yes, I know.
I was talking to a couple over on the other side. You're looking at 20 to 30 openings, and we're full staff and still hitting this. So what is it like to hit that kind of 25 to 40% of your agency out, and you're not at full staff? Like, what does that look like? I mean, right now, we're still able to be proactive and not just reactive, and we've hit a lot of our problem areas within the county. We've addressed the homeless encampments that we're seeing out in the county, and we're trying to assist Wenatchee and East Wenatchee as they're dealing with their issues too within these city limits here. And I think we've been good partners still. Chief Johnson, outgoing Sheriff Morris, incoming Sheriff Kale. Let me know if Chelan County has missed that mark, but I think we partner very well with each other and we help each other out.
Well, what I'll do, I will talk with Chief Reinfeld and Chief Johnson and ask them if you guys are getting along.
Okay, so far, they return my phone calls, so I'm,
that's good.
I'm optimistic on that one. And we train together, and I think overall we do good investigations with one another too, so just thankful that we have that kind of relationship.
Well, there's always, at the street level, there's always been a lot of cooperation, okay?
Absolutely.
And I don't know about the administrative level because I was never there myself,
Well, we're constantly trying to figure out who's the most important administrator in the region. No, I'm just kidding. We get along good. All jokes aside, I'm very thankful for Chief Johnson, Chief Reinfeld, Chief Crown.
Those are great guys.
Yeah, and they've allowed me to lean into them too and learn lessons as a new administrator.
Yeah, Chief Crown, Reinfeld, and Johnson. I work with all of them.
And Sheriff Morris too. He's been good too.
Well, I don't know him as well.
He's been open to taking calls from me, and I appreciate it.
All right, good. So. But all those guys, excellent cops. I mean, the community, you should be really thankful for these people. So
we have an amazing region for law enforcement. You look at our quality of life, Douglas County, Chelan County.
Yeah, okay.
look around Washington State, that's not typical. We have really had like a bubble around our communities, and I think it's just the great work that our agencies do.
And there is a lot of public support, much more.
Oh,
I mean, you get the
yeah.
occasional critic and that type of thing, which is fine.
It's fine. You
Helps
need it.
keep us honest.
It does.
Notice how I said us. So.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, we get the criticism coming back, and I've said it 100 times. If I get to a point where I feel like we're doing perfect and I know all the answers, it's time for me to leave.
Exactly. But hey, we need to take another break. Okay,
right.
we're going to come back, say goodbye to Chief Morrison, let him have, I know exactly what he wants to say at the end. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff, you stick around, we will be right back.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you'd never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Okay, we're back talking with Sheriff Mike Morrison, Sheriff of Chelan County. I know there's some things you would like to say to the citizens of Chelan County, so the floor is yours, my friend.
Absolutely. I say this every single time. Grateful to serve here in Chelan County. Our deputies are thankful. We recognize that looking nationwide and here in Washington State, not every law enforcement agency or community has the support that we do at the Sheriff's Office. Yeah. And we certainly have a great relationship too. We talked about, I'm more than open to have critics come in and say, Sheriff, your agency missed the mark here. And as the head of the agency, you take responsibility for that. And then of course you put praise back towards your deputies when we're successful, which we've been very successful over the last several years here. And that's just because we have a community that's willing to come behind us, support us. I need 80,000 plus eyes assisting our agency moving forward, combating it, and ensuring that we maintain the quality of life that we have here. Yeah. Came down from Okanagan County, and certainly their deputies earn their paycheck up there. Some rough stuff, and you come down here to Chelan County, and it was a breath of fresh air as well. Just that you saw like lower crime rates and overall our willingness just to come alongside the men and women in uniform. And you know, we've done the same day in and day out, just making sure we reach out to our community and say, we're here for you. I put the line in, I know people chuckle, of the people, for the people. I really do. I am of Chelan County, and I'm for Chelan County, and I believe every man and woman in uniform for our agency and region is also that same mindset for it. I mean, I live here, my kids live here, and it's important.
Yeah, I always believed in that. You know, I mean, I worked in Wenatchee, lived in Wenatchee, parked my car in my driveway. Never had an unlisted phone number. No. I thought it was beneficial. You know, I mean, this is my town, this is my community. You know, we're working together. So okay.
Yeah. Not hiding. So they know where I'm at, and I'm grateful for this county. Yeah.
Well, Sheriff, I thank you for your work. Thank you for your service. I thank you for the job you're doing. So
20 years, Wenatchee PD for you, Sergeant, and now you're still serving the community, and I appreciate that too.
Still trying, okay?
You do great.
You know, I'm still trying, but want to live a full life. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff. Thank you very much to the Sheriff for being here today. We appreciate the work he does. And I appreciate you for turning in. So, Street Talk and Other Stuff. We will see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye. I threw the paper a little early. We still got 2, 1. There we go. Bye-bye.